without anurag, without love, God cannot be known. And it all begins with knowledge. When we get to know God, then we have faith in God, then we can love Him, then we can attain Him. Scriptures say we cannot know Him. Let's find out why they are telling us that we cannot know God. What is the reason? There are many reasons. Kenopanishad says, Indriyebhya parahirtha, arthebhyascha param manah, manasastu para buddhir, buddhiratma mahan parah, mahatah paramavyakt, mavyaktat purukhah parah, purukhan na param kinchit, sa kashtha sa paragati. Great are the senses. Greater than the senses are the objects of the senses. Greater than the objects of the senses is the mind. Greater than the mind is the buddhi or the intellect. Greater than the intellect is the soul. Greater than the soul is Maya. Greater than Maya is God. Greater than God, there is nothing and no one. So this is the hierarchy. We have our senses, our mind, and our intellect down here, and God is way up here. So our senses, mind, and intellect are the only criteria through which we can gain the knowledge of someone or something. But they cannot gain the knowledge of God because God is so far beyond them. Our senses fail, our mind fails, our intellect gives up. They cannot know God. They are material and God is divine. And with material criteria, we cannot gain the knowledge of God who is beyond the material realm, the one who is divine. There are many mutual contradictions also that are found in God, which make it impossible for us to know Him with our very limited and very worldly, very material mind and intellect. Some examples. The Vedas say, when we ask them, tell us about God. Well, okay, God is like this. Brahma is like this. Anoraniyan, he's smaller than the smallest. You say, okay, we got it. Smaller than the smallest. But wait, he's also bigger than the biggest. Mahato Mahiyan. These are the next words. Anoraniyan, Mahato Mahiyan. He is smaller than the smallest, and we understand that God is all-pervading, so He has to pervade even an atom, a neutron, a proton. We ask, how small is God? Is He smaller than a grain of salt? Oh yes, grain of salt is very big. God is very small. He's smaller than atom and proton and neutron. He's smaller than the smallest thing imaginable, the smallest thing that exists, because He has to pervade even the smallest object and the smallest being. So He's smaller than the smallest. But at the same time, He's bigger than the biggest. Mahato Mahiyan. And that is also understandable because at the time of the cosmic dissolution, Mahapralaya, God absorbs countless universes within Him. So He has to be bigger than the biggest. He is bigger than countless universes. But our limited and material mind cannot understand how God can be both. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. And to add to our confusion, the Vedas say, Neti netyasthula mananuhu. Well, actually, He's neither big nor small. And we think, sorry, I asked, what is Brahma like? And I got so confused. The Vedas say He's smaller than the smallest and He's bigger than the biggest, but actually He's neither big nor small. We cannot understand that. Our material mind gives up. God is Ajayaman. Ajayamano, the Vedas say. Purush Sukta says, Ajayamano bahudha vijayate tasya yonim paripashyanti dhira. God does not take birth. He is Ajay. He's eternal. He doesn't take birth. That's understandable. But the very next words are bahudha vijayate. He takes many births. He takes birth countless times. He has taken birth and will always take birth. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharat abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. These words of Lord Krishna, recorded in the Bhagavad Gita, are very familiar to all of you. Shri Krishna promises that when there is a decline in virtue and when the demonic powers abound, then he will come down to earth. He will take birth, he says. And then he says, Janma karma cha me divyam. Don't be confused. My birth is divine. I don't take birth like an ordinary person, but I do take birth again and again. So he never takes birth, but he takes birth countless times. Shri Krishna says to Arjun, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna. Arjun, you and I have been born countless times. The difference is that I remember all my previous births and you remember none of them. Furthermore, he does not have any sense organs. No hands, no feet, no senses, no organs of action, no organs of perception. No karmendriya, no jnanendriya. He has no hands, feet, etc. And he has no eyes, no ears, no mind either. But he performs the function of each and every one of the sense organs, even without having them. Binu pag chalai sunai binu kana, kar binu karm karai vidhi nana, anan rahit sakal ras bhogi, binu vani bhakta bad jogi, tan binu paras nayan binu dekha, grahai घ्राण बिनु वास असेखा, अस सब भांति अलौकिक करनी, महिमा जासु जाई नहीं बरनी. Sweet words. Binu pag chalai, he has no feet yet he walks. Sunai binu kana, he has no ears but he hears perfectly. He hears the footsteps of ants. He hears everything. He has no hands, yet he works. He has no nose, yet he smells everything there is to smell. He has no tongue, yet he is a most expert speaker. He's devoid of speech, but he's a very clever speaker. Everything about him is divine. Everything about him is incomprehensible. The mind gives up. I give up, I cannot understand him. He is so fear-inspiring that even fear personified in the form of Yamraj, the god of death, is terrified of him. Bhayadasyagnisthapati bhayatapati surayah bhayadindrascha vayushcha mrityur dhavati panchama. Kathopanishad. He is so fear-inspiring, and yet the same Lord, the one who makes even Yamraj tremble with fear, when Jarasandh attacked him, Lord Krishna took to his heels. He started to run very fast. He didn't even look back. He was terrified of Jarasandh. He started to run, and he did not stop running until he reached Dwarika. To this day, people in Dwarika call him Ranchor, the one who shows his back to the battlefield. In other words, they say, Mharo Raja Ranchor. Our king, because he was a king of Dwarika, he's a coward because he ran away from the battlefield. He makes Yamraj afraid, and yet he's afraid of Jarasandh. He didn't even look back. He was running so fast to get away from Jarasandh. And if you think that Bhagwan Ram, the wielder of bow and arrow, well, he's more brave, then think again. Ghan ghamand nabh garajat ghora priyahin dharpat manmora. When Sita ji was kidnapped by Ravan, Ramchandraji was devastated and he said to Lakshman, Bhaiya, dear brother, there are dark clouds in the sky. Hearing the rumbling of the clouds, I am afraid. I wish Sita were with me because I wouldn't be afraid then. Priyaheen darpatam anumora. I am afraid because my dear Sita is not by my side. Even a worldly man does not look towards his wife for protection. And he is the Lord of Lords, the one who makes Yamraj afraid. He is thinking that Sita should be there with him. And if she were there, he would not be afraid. Mutual contradictions. He's so near to us that no one could be nearer. He lives right in the soul. But he's so far that the more you try to get to know him, the further he gets. He's Atma Ram. He does not need anyone or anything to make him happy. And yet he runs after the gopis, begging for their love, and the gopi is scolding him. She says, get away from me. My husband is coming right there behind. You see the big stick he has in his hand? You flirtatious Nandakumar, get away from me. And he's begging for her love as if he really needs her. But he's Atma Ram. When the churning of the ocean took place, when Kshir Sagar, the milky ocean, was churned, then 14 jewels came out. One of them was Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi looked towards Mahavishnu. She looked towards God, Lord Krishna. One of his fractions is Mahavishnu. She looked towards him and she is the most beautiful, but he was not looking at her. And she thought, oh, I desire him, but he's not even looking in my direction. He doesn't need even Mahalakshmi, but he's asking the gopis for their love. So many mutual contradictions are found within him, so our mind becomes baffled and we cannot know him. But at the same time, we should not be discouraged, we should not become despondent, because Vedas and Vedic scriptures tell us that there is a way that God can be known. It is true that he cannot be known using our material criteria, our senses, mind and intellect, but he can be known through his grace. He can be known through kripa. If he graces us, then we can know him very easily. If we try to know him using self-effort, then we can try for countless lives and we would not be able to know him. We would fail miserably. We have failed to know him when we try to know him by ourselves. Sadhanau ghairana sangaira labhya suchiradapi. There is no sadhan, there are no means of attaining God. The only way to know him is through his grace. We think we can know him through the scriptures. I'll read the Vedas in the English translation. I'll read the Upanishads. I'll read the Ramayana. I'll read the Gita. I'll read the Purans and I will gain his knowledge. No. Because the words contained in these scriptures are divine. When we read these scriptures, it seems to us that the meaning is clear, but the words have a completely different meaning from what we think the meaning to be. When we read in the Vedas, Akash, we say, oh, they're talking about the sky. But Akash is another name for God. It's another name for Brahma that the Vedas use. Pran, we say, oh, pran means vital breath. Pran, hamara pran. No, pran sometimes means God. Sometimes the Vedas and Vedic scriptures use the word Atma to mean the individual soul. Sometimes they use the word Atma to mean the supreme soul. So they don't always say Jivatma and Paramatma. They just say Atma. In one and the same mantra, they could say twice they will say the word Atma, but once it means the individual soul, once it means the supreme soul. How are we going to find out where the word Atma means individual soul and where it means the supreme soul? We cannot read scriptures and get to know God. The only thing we'll get is more confusion. People who are fond of reading scriptures by themselves are more confused than anyone else. It's better that we not read them by ourselves. You may say, well, something is better than nothing. Let me just read a little bit. No. You'll become more confused. Even a scripture that so many people read, Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas by Tulsidas ji. This Ramayana says, in the Ramayana, Tulsidas ji says, Je Shraddha Sambal Nahi, Nahi Santan Ko Saath, Tinh Kah Manas Agam Ati, Jinahi Na Priya Raghunath. Do not read the Ramcharitmanas if you do not have full faith in Bhagwan Shri Ram. Je Shraddha Sambal Nahi, Nahi Santan Ko Saath. Don't read the Ramayana if you're not guided by a guru. If you do not love Raghunath ji more than life itself, don't read the Ramayana. It's dangerous. You can read it from the story point of view, but when it comes to knowledge, you will become extremely confused, because what is in the Ramayana is what is in the Vedas. It is a simplification of Vedic philosophy. Just as the Vedas cannot be understood by a material mind, in the same way, the Ramayana cannot be understood. All right, so then I don't need the grace of God. I can go to a guru, because the Ramayana says if you are guided by a guru, then I can be guided by a guru and I can know God, right? Scriptures say yes. So that means I won't have to attain the grace of God, right? No, you still need God's grace. Why? Because how will you find a guru? How will you find a sant? Binu sat sang vivek na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabh na soi. Without a guru, God cannot be known. But how do you find a guru? Is there a marketplace where you go and you choose a guru? How do you find a guru? Just someone who is known as a guru? Is he a guru? In Kali Yuga, the situation is so bad that Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj often used to say that Kali Yuga there's so much corruption in Kali Yuga that there are more gurus than disciples. So many gurus. Are they all gurus? No. How are you going to find a guru? That is where the grace of Bhagwan comes in. Binu satsang vivek na hoi. But how do you get a satsang? Sant ka sang. How do you associate with a guru? Ram kripa binu sulabh na soi. God will have to send a guru to you. You'll need his grace, and then guru will come into your life and you'll recognize him as a guru. Guru comes into everyone's life. He comes into everyone's life, but not everyone recognizes him as the guru. So guru is sent by God, but then with God's grace we are able to understand that this is a guru. When Hanumanji went to Vibhishan in Lanka, Hanumanji went to Lanka and he could not hear the name of Ram being uttered anywhere, and then he did hear the name of Ram. Early in the morning, someone is chanting Ram, 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 Ram. And he thought, oh, who is this? A devotee of Ram in Lanka? And he went to Vibhishan, and Vibhishan was beside himself with happiness. And he said, Hanumanji, now I know. Ab mohi bha bharos Hanumanta, binu hari kripa milahi nahi santa. Now I know for a fact that Bhagwan Shri Ram, my Lord has sent you here, because it is only with God's grace that one attains the association of a saint, a sant, a guru. So even if you say, well, I will go to the Guru and I will attain the knowledge of God from him, you still need God's grace, because Guru will be sent through the grace of God. If you say, well, I will transcend Maya, I will conquer Maya, I don't need God's grace, so if I go beyond Maya, I can see God, right? So here's the mind, there's the intellect, man and buddhi, and there's soul, then there's Maya. So if I can lift the curtain of Maya, the veil of Maya, then I should be able to see God directly, right? Yes. Then I'll do that. But how will you conquer Maya? How can we conquer Maya?